Welcome back, internet friend. Today we're going to be working on step 2 of the process, which is designing on the last, taping it first, designing on the last, and making the pattern for the upcoming shoes that I'm going to be making. I have officially found the perfect burgundy leather. I've been on the hunt for this for ages. I've decided to go ahead with the burgundy Mary Jane first. Eventually, I will probably recreate every single pair of shoe that I wish to have in my closet in burgundy, and it's my goal and destiny to have pretty much exclusively burgundy shoes in my closet. I feel like burgundy is neutral, but maybe that's just me. I am obsessed. I do want it to be known that I don't expect these videos to become a tutorial of sorts. They're merely a means to document my process and my progress throughout my shoemaking journey, path. So let's begin.
To get started, the last must be taped with a combination of vertical and horizontal strips, ensuring to smooth out every piece. The purpose of the two different directions is to ensure we maintain the integrity of the piece, or last copy as we call it, as a whole when removing it from the last. Up next is the design lines, which will help determine a proper fit. I begin by marking the counterpoint, the ball points, vamp point, and ball girth, as well as sketch out the top line. I like to make a rough outline of the shoe design. Figure out how many straps I want over the instep, how high or how low I want the top line at the front, Here you'll note the magical appearance of 3 mother-of-pearl buttons. Side note, I much prefer hunting for authentic vintage elements such as these Victorian buttons. Upon seeing the design on the last, and taking notes from past shoes I've made, I decided to include broguing, which is the series of little decorative holes around the shoe. A medallion on the toe, I'm thinking fleur-de-lis inspired, and I felt like the side looked a little empty, but ignore this first design idea. Once I drew it, it reminded me too much of Charlie Brown. Moving along, I proceed to cut the last copy down the center lines and peel. Next, I began to create the master pattern by copying all the design lines and adding allowance. Now that we have the outline and all the design lines, then I like to go in and clean up my design by using French curves or rulers, making sure the angles are nice, lines are straight, basically cleaning it up. And now I'll move on to creating the actual pattern.
So that is all for the pattern. I'm sure you noticed that I left the actual Mary Jane straps short. I'm going to elongate them with some additional pieces of paper later. They are for me, so I'm gonna end up measuring it probably before I make the final cut and before assembling everything together. So far this is where I'm going. Here's the captail, goes like this. So the next step is to wait for the leather to arrive. I've already made a similar pair of these shoes in my size, so I know that the pattern fits. So I'm not going to make a sample version out of it first. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. In this case I won't. Look at the leather, isn't it? This one's not the one that's way too stiff, but look at that color though. Oh, it's so pretty. This one or this suede. It's beautiful. I'm so excited. Finally, it's been so hard to finding burgundy leather. For some reason, burgundy isn't something that is stocked by many leather suppliers, and when they have it, it's just not the right shade of burgundy. I don't want like a red. I want almost like a berry burgundy. That's my favorite. But anyway, I'm gonna end it here. You guys will see me again when the leather arrives and when I'm ready to begin with the next part of the process. So, see ya.